What's up YouTube, Never Lucky Brains here today with my Locust review. I played Heroes. It was the second tournament after I won with Sword Soul. So I played in the second tournament with Heroes. I wanted to give the other guys a chance to win, right? So I lost the dice roll in match 1 against Drytron and he could go off. I had drawn Lockbird to stop his searches, but it didn't stop him that much. He could still play all his boss monsters, quote unquote. He went into the artifact lock plus Phoenix Destroyer, so it was very rough for me to watch. I knew the game was lost since I had no out in hand against the artifact lock. And yeah, I was basically thinking about game 2, obviously going first, getting Dark Law on the field plus Soulman Judgment if I draw it, so that would be the best possible board. Drytron lose instantly against Dark Law since they need the graveyard to trigger the effects to special summon them back, so if they get banished it's over for Drytron. And yeah, as you can see, it was nothing I can do, right? He had all the outs against me. I had the hero whiffs, but that was basically it. I couldn't do that much other than special summoning the Shadow Mist and getting my searches. Maybe on his Neos, like you see, I searched Neos in case he attacks me, but yeah, it's very rough. I had to set the cards and pass turn, and yeah, he could basically OTK me in the following turn since I had no real boss monster on the field, and on his Neos alone doesn't protect me. So yeah, it was a quick game 1, unfortunately. Lost the dice roll and artifact lock killed me. In game 2 I went first. I opened up with Stratos into Ferris, and Ferris discarding the Shadow Mist, getting my search, plus all the Vision Heroes to the field. So I had a full combo with the Vision Heroes, no interruptions from his side, and I could summon Sunriser and getting the Miracle Fusion going into Plasma. So I had a pretty decent board with Plasma, Sunriser and one set card on the field. So it's very good against Drytron. You negate all the monster effects and that's basically it for them. So I set 1 and pass turn. Luckily he had Dark Ruler no more, so my Plasma was out of the picture unfortunately. He searched himself with one ritual monster and summoned special summoned one of his Drytron monsters. Getting his searches, and yeah, I couldn't do anything since my monster effect was negated with Plasma, and I had one Imperm set. He went into one link, the one XYZ monster which attacks directly, and after the battle phase he can go into the Zeus. I had one Imperm to stop a one Zeus effect, so he had to activate Zeus once again. It's not once per turn, so he can activate it multiple times per turn. So I lured all his Zeus interruptions. He had no interruptions with Zeus anymore. I summoned Absolute Zero, drawing 2 cards, normal summon Stratos, getting a search, playing Fusion Destiny, getting Phoenix Destroyer on the field. So I was in the commanding lead now, since he used a lot of resources and lost one of his boss monsters. I had still plenty of monsters on the field, attacked for life points and passed turn. He went into his turn and he special summoned 2 of his Drytron monsters with one of the graveyard effects, went into the Mubeta, and Mubeta dumps 1 monster, and you can use Mubeta's materials to ritual summon. I knew that, so I wanted to destroy with Phoenix Destroy Mubeta, so he wouldn't have any materials to use, so he had to use his field materials for this ritual monster. Therefore I had to play the interruption with a Phoenix Destroyer, obviously. He played the Herald of Light, dumping one of his monsters to the graveyard, but I still had the Absolute Zero. In the worst case, in case he managed to break my board, he will lose his board as well. With Absolute Zero leaving the field, he destroys all opponent monsters on the field, so it's basically a Raigeki if he leaves the field. But not if he leaves into the extra deck, so we fixed the fact it was back in the days also triggered, but now it's not triggered. He went into Anaconda and his own Phoenix Destroyer. He was very low on life points. He paid 2000 plus I attacked directly with like 4 to 5k, I don't know. So he had Phoenix Destroyer and passed turn. I summoned my Phoenix Destroyer, activated the effect to destroy his Phoenix Destroyer, normal summon Stratos and went for game. Game 3 he went obviously first. He had full combo with normal summon Herald, dumping the monsters to the graveyard, getting his searches. getting the Phoenix Destroyer and the artifact lock once again, but I had Super Poly in hand, and you can activate Super Poly in your draw phase, so Phoenix Destroyer won't activate its effect because you have priority. My plan was to use Phoenix Destroyer and one of his dark monsters to fusion summon my Venomite Dragon, and yeah, that was a lucky draw for me. But I still screwed up, you will see why. I managed to activate the Super Poly and using his Phoenix Destroyer to get my Venomite Dragon, but he had two back rows, one of them was Lancia, Artifact Scythe, and I normal summoned Stratos after I special summoned Shadow Mist, getting my mask change. I wanted to destroy one back row in case he had one nasty card there, and I destroyed the artifact. I am so dumb, guys. It's unreal.
Are you serious? This is torture. You're torturing me and everyone else watching. Wait.
I'm the worst player ever. That was so sick. I could chain mask change to get at least Dark Lord in the field, but I was so angry with myself. I was on an autopilot, I was seeing two back rows. I had the destruction effect of Stratos. I was thinking like, yeah, okay, I can destroy one back row, that's a little help, so I can continue with my fusion plays. And it was the artifact. I completely forgot about the artifact. I was so happy and amazed about my Super Poly play that I completely forgot the artifact. And it bite me in the ass so hard. I threw this game super hard away. I could OTK him easily if I wouldn't destroy the artifact. But yeah, very, very bad play. Will never ever happen again, I swear. This was the biggest shock ever. I was super mad, you can't imagine. It was the dumbest play I ever made. Destroying the artifact, killing myself. Self-destruction button activated. Never lucky brains. So yeah, the match was basically lost. It was my own fault. Match 2 was against Dragonlink. The first minutes of the match are not recorded, sorry for that. I won the die roll, opened up with Stratos and the two back rows. One of them was Super Poly. I activated Super Poly and using two of his dark monsters to summon my Venomite Dragon. He had one trap to destroy my Venomite Dragon, and the Venomite Dragon also destroys his field when he is destroyed by a card effect, so he basically made a negative trade, I don't know. It was my turn. I special summoned Melody and normal summoned Shadow Mist, getting the Anaconda, getting the Surge from the Shadow Mist, getting my Vision Heroes on the field. Not activating Anaconda yet, I wanted to activate first my hero effects. So if you activate Anaconda you can't special summon, therefore I wanted to go first with my heroes and then as my last summon the Anaconda play, obviously. I special summoned Absolute Zero, Sunriser and activated Anaconda's effect to get the Phoenix Destroyer to the field. And he had basically nothing. He had one graveyard effect to special summon a monster in case I attack. But Sunriser's effect triggers also if one of my hero battles, and as you can see I attacked first with Vion and destroyed with Sunriser's monster and OTK'd him. Game 2 he let me go first. I was surprised. It's a bit weird to letting heroes go first, but okay, I was like, yes, why not? I mean, I had a decent hand, no Dark Lord sadly, but I still had the full Vision Hero play and could get the Sunriser to the field plus the Plasma. I searched the Plasma with my Cross Crusader and had boss monster on the field, so I was a bit on the safe side. Plus I had one Ash in hand, so one interruption plus the permanent negates to the field. But as always, they have Dark Ruler no more. That's why they go second, right? So my Plasma was useless. I could Ash his Surge, so he was a bit interrupted, but still he could go into the seal, the Heretic Seal. And you can activate Heretic Seal effect and it will resolve since it's tributed for cost and leaves the field, so Plasma can't negate the effect anymore since it's not on the field. And he can bounce one of my cards, and he decided to bounce Plasma. So it's like the Altergeist deck, you know, they can still play under skill drain since they tribute themselves for cost. And yeah, resolving all the time the effects, and with the Heretic Seal it's the same case. So I lost Plasma and had only Absolute Zero plus Sunrise on the field, and he had the Fallen of Abyss. summoned the Mirror Jade Dragon, yes, the new support for the Despia, used my Sunriser, and he was banishing with his Mirror Jade Dragon my Absolute Zero, but Absolute Zero effect triggers even if he is banished, since he is leaving the field, so it destroyed his entire field. But his Mirror Jade Dragon also triggers. When he leaves the field, he nukes my field as well in the end phase, so I would lose all my monsters on the field. So I went at the Phoenix Destroyer and went for damage, and yeah, Phoenix Destroyer will return luckily, so that was a plus point for me. But it was funny. I nuked his field with Absolute Zero and he nuked my field with the Mirror Jade Dragon. So yeah, I had one imperm against his search effect, so I could interrupt him. He forgot to activate one of his end phase effects from last turn, and I allowed him to search with his dragon in the graveyard because I had the OTK in hand in the follow-up turn, so he couldn't do anything. Match 3 was against Virtual World, my arch nemesis. I never won against him, and I won the dice roll luckily. I had a Stratos Search plus Shadow Mist Search to dump Shadow Mist with Ferris, getting another Search and all the Vision Heroes to the field, so the best combo you can make with the Vision Heroes. I summoned Increase, getting myself the Vion to the field, but he ashed my Fusion Search with Vion, so I was a bit interrupted there, but still, I had a Mass Change in hand, and Dark Law is an insta-win against Virtual World, so I was not mad at all there. So yeah, I just searched myself the Stratos for the next follow-up turn and set 2, one of them being Mass Change. I activated Mass Change in his turn, and yeah, that was pretty much a game there. He couldn't do anything since he can't summon his Virtual World monsters, and his cards which are sent to the graveyard are banished, so he has no resources in the graveyard and can't summon his ritual monsters. So that's basically it. Since it's necessary to get the cards to the graveyard to be able to special summon the Virtual World monsters to the field, and with them being banished you can't special summon the virtual monsters. He had one interruption with his Gamma player against my Fusion, but still he was only stalling one more turn, and that was basically it. I passed turn, his monsters were banished, the Gamma and his driver, and yeah, he couldn't do anything. Like I said, Virtual World can't summon monsters with Dark Law in the field, so he had to pass turn. He set one monster and passed, and yeah, I could OTK him in my next turn with a Miracle Fusion, and yeah, that was basically it for the first game. And he was going first in game 2, obviously. And I had no hand trap to stop him, so he could go off with all his plays. I had one evenly matched, always evenly matched, very very nice, but still he could get all his resources to the graveyard, establishing a decent field. So it's still a bit painful to watch your opponent getting all the resources on the to the graveyard. Even if you can clear his board, he has a follow-up after the turn you cleaned his board, so it's not that easy. And yeah, as you can see, he summoned his monster negate monster and M7 to bounce one card. Plus he had one beast type monster, a fusion monster. It was his spicy tag, but spicy tag worked against him, as you will see now, since I play Rivalry of the Warlords in the main deck, a triple copy. I'm testing this at the moment, and yeah, I opened up with evenly matched. He banished all the monsters, letting only the beast monster on the field, and yeah, I played Fusion Destiny. He had obviously Ash against the Fusion Destiny, so I normal some Stratos, searched myself. I don't know what was it. It was, I guess, Honest Neos. Yes, Honest Neos was my search. Since my plan was to clear his monster, it has 2k defense, so I need some more attack points. I flipped the Rivalry of the Warlords, and he can't summon any monsters to the field since he's locked to Beast Monster only. In Virtual World they don't have any Beast Monsters, so he was basically locked out of the duel. He flipped Anti-Spell Fragrance, but I had no spell cards to activate, so it was not a big deal for me. And I attacked this monster. It was so dumb. I could pass turn and wait for my OTK on the board, but no, I was so dumb and destroyed this monster. Now he was not locked anymore to beast and could play his virtual world monsters. Oh, again, such a punt. I mean, I played so horribly the second tournament, it's unreal. Maybe concentration issues, I don't know. I played 2 tournaments after another, so it's like 8 rounds and plus all the breaks and delays, and yeah, you are playing 10 hours Yu-Gi-Oh! And yeah, my brain was at its limit, I guess, in this tournament. I made 2 big mistakes. The one mistake with the Scythe pop with Stratos, and now destroying his beast monster, unlocking him and letting him play again was such a punt. It was a free win for me. I could wait and summon additional warriors to the field to have the OTK on board. Since he can't summon any monsters, he is out of the game. But I gave him the chance by destroying his beast monster. It was super dumb. I'm so mad at myself, you can't imagine, guys. So I threw this game away, and basically we went into game 3, and the time was very short because Virtual World takes a lot of time to special all the monsters to the field. In game 3 I was instantly punished by my dumb play in game 2 with the rivalry. I bricked and had only Super Poly as a set card and passed turn, and he could go off with all his plays. I was super annoyed. You can't imagine, guys, making such a dumb mistake in game 2 and getting a brick hand in game 3. It's such a punishment, it's unreal, it's such a torment, you can't imagine. And yeah, I had also Ash, I guess. Yes, I had 1 Ash and the Super Poly. I used the Super Poly to fusion his Crystal Dragon and his Chanchan to get my Mud Dragon to the field. So he lost 2 of his boss monsters. It was a little plus point for me, but still I was very, very angry about my starting hand. I normal summon Stratos, search myself the Ferris, special summoning the Ferris to the field, getting the increase, activating increase effect, but he had the trap to destroy increase, so I can't special summon him and I lose my Ferris plus the increase. So it's a minus trade for me, I guess. He has the 1 interruption on the field, and I had to do it. I mean, I have to do something. If I pass turn, he will OTK me in his next turn, since he can summon a Chanchan back to the field. So I had to do the play, and yeah, he had the interruption in the right time. Correct play by him. I had only absolute 0 on the field as a trade against Chanchan, but yeah, that was basically it. He could still summon all his virtual world monsters to the field, and we were short on time, but he had still the OTK on the field, so he would win anyway. So yeah, very, very disappointing match for me. The big mistake in game 2 with rivalry and the punishment with the brick hand in game 3. Oh, that's that's such a pain, I'm not gonna lie. Match 4 was against Orcust Mekk Knights. It's my first time playing against this deck. I had no experience against them. I won the dice roll and opened up a Stratos, searched myself the Shadow Mist and the Ferris with my Stratos effect. So I had the full Vision Hero combo on the field with Increase and Vion and the Fusions and the Miracle Fusion, so the bread and butter combo of the heroes. He had no hand trap to stop me, so that was a relief for me. No Nibiru, that's always nice, right? As a hero player, the biggest fear is always Nibiru. Nibiru can screw up your entire play. I had set 2. One of them was a Master Change and the other one I forgot, maybe Imperm, I don't know. But I had a solid board. I had a Rivalry, yes, I remember. I flipped Rivalry to force his Dino Wrestler effect on the Rivalry, since I wanted to keep my Sunriser, but he decided to activate the Dino Wrestler effect to destroy my Sunriser. So I lost Sunriser. He special summoned one of his Mekk Knight monsters and went into the battle. He destroyed my Stratos. So I had only Vion on the field, and he set 2 cards and passed turn. It was my turn now. I played Miracle Fusion, special summoned the Absolute 0 to the field, and normal summon Stratos, activating the Search effect, but he activated a trap which moves his monster to the column where Stratos is, and the effect is negated basically. If his monster is in the same column as my monster effect will be negated. so I was okay with that. I played Mass Change on my Vision hero and summoned my Cross Crusader, went into the Dread Designator for the OTK after I searched for an Orcust, and yeah, that was basically it. He had nothing against my attack points. He had only one monster and I could easy OTK him. Game 2 he let me go first. I was very surprised. I opened up with Vion and got negated with Imperm, and I had no follow-up. I had only set 1 and passed turn. So a very weak hand. I had a couple of brick cards, I guess, like Ferris and some trap cards or spell cards which I couldn't use. Maybe the fusion, I don't know. So it was a very weak opening hand, and he could go off. He summoned his Mekk Knight, which special summons a token to my side on the field, so that's the Nibiru you see there. And he used his token for the Link monster, obviously, and could still play his additional monsters. I had Super Poly as a set card. I could interrupt him a bit with the Mud Dragon, but it wasn't enough. He could still continue on with additional monsters as a special summon, as you can see now. And yeah, I was not sure if it was the correct timing to activate the Super Poly, but there was a chance to activate the card, and I used the chance since he had the 2 same attributes on the field with a different type, and I didn't want to miss this opportunity, so I activated the card, and it ends up being not enough. He could still establish a strong board, and I had no real follow-up since I lost my Vion and my starting hand was very bricky, so I had no real play. I had only Ferris as a special summon, and yeah, that was basically it. He could negate my effect, I guess, and yeah, I showed my hand, it was a brick. Game 3 I let him go first since he's playing the weird back row special summon monster deck, so I wanted to have a card advantage. I opened up with Emergency Call into Stratos, summoning Stratos, but Stratos got negated by Imperm, and I had no follow-up, so I had to pass turn. He summoned his monsters and could attack over Stratos and pass turn. I still had a mediocre hand. It wasn't super great, but still I could summon the Liquid Soldier, special summoning Stratos back. I removed this back row with my Cosmic Cyclone, so I had no interruption in front of me, and I could go off with my Vision heroes, getting all the pluses, all the boss monsters to the field, and basically OTK my opponent. So yeah, a good move, I think, going second against his deck. And yeah, it was a decent tournament. I made 2 big mistakes. I could go 4-0 if I wouldn't have made the mistakes, but yeah, you never know, right?
Exodia! Obliterate!